Hola, señores y señoritas. Mi nombre es Kurt. Bienvenido de Farlands or Busto. Oh, I apologize for all the people I may have offended. There was a spider. Is he angry? He's not angry. I don't know if you noticed, but I failed Spanish class. Oh, so many times. All right. Anyway, I don't know why that just felt like the right time to do that. But let's grab Wolfie, say goodbye to our spider, and head west in this Farlands or Bust. I don't know what precisely Farlands or Bust would translate directly to, but generally your little brand names, your proper pronouns, I guess, don't end up getting translated when you speak a different language. I don't know, did I just say, like, good morning to Farlands or Bust? I have no idea. Anyway, continuing on, this is episode 274 of Farlands or Bust. It is July 26th, 2013, a Friday here, and we're still raising money for Child's Play charity. That's over at farlandsorbust.com. There is a donation widget. A donation widget. That was a dramatic way to say donation widget. On the homepage of Farlands or Bust, where you can do such a thing. Things are ramping up with the donations. We gained another, I believe, over $300 since the last episode. $37,630.24 is what we're at right now. Ooh, a wall. Ooh, a zombie. Interesting. Flat wall of sand. But yeah, that's what we're at right before I started this recording. I do appreciate. I mean, think about it. Since the last episode, raised over $300. I don't know what. Whoa, that's obviously a spawner. Obviously, and by obviously I mean we're probably never going to find out. We're never going to find out. See you guys later. Enjoy your underground potential spawner or whatever you got going on there. But yeah, sorry. Like I said, over $300 raised since the last episode. I mean, if we think about it, we possibly could have just purchased an Xbox or two for the children's ward of a hospital somewhere around the world that you know, they can cart around or put in a I suppose. To be honest, I have not ventured into many hospitals. I'm not sure how they're set up, but maybe they have separate, like, recovery rooms or little kind of lounges or something like that the kids can go into and enjoy and be kids. You know, it's a good cause or whatever. Sure, yeah, that let's say that, or some games or books. Who knows? That, however, is what Child's Play Charity does. You can learn more about them over at childsplaycharity.org. And as long as you guys keep raising money, I will keep walking to the Farlands. And when we reach $100,000, we will call it the end of Season 4, and I will finally press F3, which tells us how far we have walked. So far, this is the longest season of Farlands or Bust. And between Seasons 2 and 3, we walked from 292,202 to 699,492, so could try to extrapolate some sort of consistent meaning from that to guesstimate how far we're walking. The jitteriness is getting worse. The jitteriness is a result of being so far from 0-0 that the world gets less and less precise about our location. Therefore, it's kind of snapping us to an even less precise grid in the world than it is near 0-0. Indeed. Indeed. Science! Science is that reason why that happens. Or I guess math. There's a science in math, so we'll just call it even. Also, we just passed on my channel 250,000 subscribers. Why are you all here? It still doesn't make sense to me. 250,000. Oh, man, that's madness, I say, madness. I don't, like I kind of was talking about in the previous few episodes, it's one of those things I didn't expect, but I am very much appreciative of, and it definitely makes me feel good about the choice I made to, like I said, it was kind of one of the first. I didn't expect it to be a major life choice, but it was kind of one of the first choices I made where, yes, I am going to buy a copy of Fraps. I'm going to learn how to record and upload YouTube videos of video game footage. I'm going to go out and buy a decent headset microphone situation and record and edit and upload videos for fun. Because it's something I want to do, and it's my decision. Of course, at the time, I really didn't consciously think about it that way, but and here we are, a bit over 2 years later, with 250,000 Farlanders out there. Obviously, not everybody is an active Farlander. That would be nice if each and every one of the subscribers watched each and every one of my videos, but that can't happen. That's all right. So wow, yeah, I do appreciate that. Like I said, even with the non-existent 1000th video, those sort of numeric milestones, they mean a lot to me. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it will mean a lot even when I reach 262,832 subscribers. So, you know, each one of you guys who decides to hit that subscribe button, I know even though it's free and it's you know, there's no monetary value. It's just the time, I suppose, it represents that you guys make the decision, however consciously or unconsciously it is, to say, these videos, I find them entertaining and or enjoyable to a certain extent, to the point where I wish to be notified of more of these videos from this person from the Midwestern United States who is walking to the far lands, or perhaps you're not here for far lands, perhaps it's more about racing games or Kerbal Space Program or whatever. I do appreciate it, I can't say that enough. And I often do not say it enough, so there we go. I will try. I will try by saying thank you. Indeed. Or I could say gracias. Tongue roll. I know some people who are native Spanish speakers who can't roll their tongues. Their R's. Roll their tongues. Blah, blah, blah. Roll their R's. That noise. And I often make fun of them. Yeah, it's your first language. How come you can't, but I can? I should have passed Spanish class, not you. But anyway, continuing on, another thing I'm thankful for is that you guys keep asking questions. Otherwise, I would just be sitting here rolling my R's throughout every episode, and that would not be very entertaining at all. So all these questions you guys ask with your donations and the comments below, they help me maintain a shred of interesting banter as we continue walking here. And one of those questions... Boop, 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 boop. Looking for one. Woof. Sun is kind of setting, actually. I might want to wait until after. There was... Oh, here's kind of a quick one. From Carter, with his donation, asked, have you ever considered a mechanical keyboard? They make the keys lock down so that you don't have to hold down the W key so enthusiastically. I have considered a mechanical keyboard. I think more so because they're technically, they're a little bit more robust. Although this keyboard I've had so long. When did I buy this keyboard? When I built my last computer, I think, which was... When did I build that computer? 2008-ish? And then my most recent computer I built last year. Not last March, but the March previous. I think? Who knows? No. What? Yeah, 2012. So yeah, this keyboard is... It's just the... I think it was about, $20 or $30 Microsoft... It's got the lower keys. It's kind of, I suppose, similar to your kind of a laptop keyboard. It's kind of ergonomically curved and whatnot, but considered it. But Being a YouTube video maker and recorder... Hold on, let's go to sleep. Okay, let's wait a couple seconds. There we go. And clicky keyboardsness. Spelunk. Being a YouTube commentator with a fancy pants microphone here in front of my face, I find the mechanical keyboards to be too loud, and they show up in the videos. There are, I will not name names, perhaps you've heard some of them when we do collaborative mind crack episodes or something. Some people have the mechanical keyboards, and you can tell who they are. I just find that I'm a little bit more concerned about the audio, and I know you could probably hear my keyboard every once and again when I hit spacebar or whatever, but it's not the very audible clicking that you get with a mechanical keyboard. Though I have considered it. I've also considered trying out one of those, I forgot what they're called, but there's a keyboard that comes without anything painted on the keys. Telling you what they are. That supposedly helps you become a faster typer because you never look down at the T's or the keys to see what you're looking at. So, I don't know. I've considered it. I personally... I don't know what type of gaming it helps out the most. I don't know. Maybe mechanical keyboards are better for your RPG MMO type games because then you can like quicker access quick key macros or something like that, but I'm perfectly fine with my $20 Microsoft Comfort keyboard, or whatever the heck it was called. Working fine. The WASD, speaking of not having anything painted on the keys, those have worn off very, very well. Up. Alright, Wolf is probably going to hurt himself with this. Up. Yep, you did. Oh, you need to eat. And there is a convenient pig over here. Oh. Hey, guy. I can't have you sit if we're not on land. Let's come up here. So yeah, I've considered it, but it's not on my list of things to get for my computer. Come on, Wolfie. There he is. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. Stop jumping. Boop. You know, one of the things I need to get, obviously, since the last episode I mentioned, is a new backup drive system. I have two 24-inch monitors. My main one I actually got long before I was really into gaming, and it was more for graphic design. It's a Dell, it's an IPS monitor, which it's compared to my secondary 24-inch monitor, which is more of your standard TFT design. The colors and the contrast and the viewing angles are just magically delicious. But as far as most full IPS panels go, the response time is slow, which I know isn't great for gaming or keeping, frame rates or, response input times down. So I don't know. It's lasted me a long time. I've had this monitor a long time, so I don't know. I tend to use things until they break. So unless there's a significant reason why I shouldn't continue using this monitor, I'm probably going to continue using it. I'm set up on the monitors. I'd say I'd probably replace my mouse before I replace my keyboard. I have an Logitech MX518, the classic gaming mouse, a favorite among most that they don't make anymore. Whoa, that's... Hold on. This is the kind of place that I would have accidentally fallen into and fell into and tumbled down towards and other things. So yeah, I would probably replace my mouse. It's getting a little bit sticky. I mean, like, the movement, not the actual physical attribute of it. Ew. The scroll wheel sometimes screws up, or it's non-responsive, or I'll have to do this, to wake it up, or the DPI doesn't hold, but I'll probably have to replace that before I ever consider replacing a keyboard, but indeed, I do appreciate your input, and I don't know, if I do have to replace my keyboard, I don't know that I would get a mechanical keyboard. They're obviously expensive, but also because of that whole sound thing, And I would probably also have to really get used to using a mechanical keyboard. I don't believe I've ever used a mechanical keyboard, so indeed. Oh, speaking of foreign language, segue from Mark with his donation asked, "Are you aware of any German or foreign words in the English language? Or do you, as US Americans, have issue with adopting words from foreign languages?" This is kind of a broad question that you'd probably be better off asking some sort of linguist or sociologist or something. I don't have any problems adopting foreign words. I mean, German and English in general are all coming from the same source, aren't they? Like I said, I never took a linguistics class or language history or etymology or whatever that's called. But I think they all kind of originate from old, isn't it, Germanic languages? They're all kind of under the same. So is Spanish. Spanish is in that same category, as opposed to, there's other sources and originations of different languages. So no, I don't think we have a particular problem adapting them. It's whether or not we really need to. Whatever words or whatever have their sources come from different foreign languages have already been adapted, you know? So, I mean, it's not like all of a sudden there's a brand new invented word in German, and then us Americans are like, no, we can't use that word. We have to invent our own. It doesn't match that way. So, thank you for your question. I'm not exactly sure where you were going with it, but I appreciate that and your donation, Mark. Giving me a few minutes to talk about something that, to fill the air. Fill the air. You can just smell the conversation in here. Let's see. A comment, a video comment I got on a previous episode, a few episodes ago, from Zombie Seaweed. I feel like that name sounds familiar, like we've had another question from Zombie Seaweed in the past. But Zombie Seaweed asked, "Hey Kurt, hey, what is your exercise schedule?" Non-existent is the best way to describe it. I suppose, as a little bit of background, for those of you who have realized, and I did have to explain some things from my Jason Statham buzz cut video. A lot of people noticed floating sand. I saw that, don't worry. A lot of people commented that it looked like I worked out, or perhaps that I lifted, bro. I do not. But I did explain that, how long has it been? Maybe 6 months or so. So yeah, it was pretty much, it was before, probably after Minecon Paris, but before the time I obviously shaved my head in January. I started to just decide to just try to work out. Just basic stuff at home. I don't belong to any gym or anything like that, so I just decided, just out of nowhere, just, before or after getting ready in the morning, or just whenever I'm, say, rendering a video, or I'm kind of in between doing one task or another, I'll just drop and give me 20 push-ups or so. And then as I, ooh, this is nice. It reminds me a little bit of Combat Canyon. Careful, Wolfie. Woof. Reminds me a little bit of Combat Canyon. Sorry, that's one of my earlier single-player non-Farlands or Bust worlds. It's definitely dangerous, like Combat Canyon. Kind of neat. Careful, Wolfie. Careful, Wolfie. All right, we're going to go this way. So yeah, I just decided, sitting here at the computer 12 hours a day, plus or so, much more plus than that, I believe. Probably not the best thing for your physique or your physical stature and bodily atrophy. So I decided, all right, I'm just going to start, I started maybe only being able to do 10 push-ups at a time, and then that went up to 20 and 30, and I could probably, oh, there's a creeper up there. I saw a flash of green. The Green Lantern. So I decided to do that. So yeah, I've been able to just do push-ups and things. I have recently... Whoa, careful, Wolfie. Jeez. I gotta jump on the guy. Yeah, watch the drop there. I felt like I saw something else fall. Yeah, there it is down there. There's another one of these, like, pre-dug things. It's weird. Doug. Who's Doug? Let's go to the shore here. And make the elevated hidey hole. Oh. Boop. Beep. So yeah, I've been doing that. Most recently, I got one of those perfect pull-up bar things. It was on sale at woot.com. You kind of hook it up to your door frame, and it wedges in there on the top of the door frame, and you can do pull-ups, and that was really hard. I could barely do 2 or 3 from the get-go, and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work at all. But I've recently, with practice, and I kind of just leave it up in the doorway, and every time I pass through the doorway, I'll try to do 5 or so. But I think I can max out about 12 pull-ups now. So, improvements! Improvements indeed. Let's go to sleep. And we'll continue talking about that in the morning. It was kind of sounded like an unfinished thought. I'm like, let's go to sleep, ... But yeah. So yeah, I'm able to do that now, which is, you know, it works about a different set of muscles. I'm not trying... I don't want to be, like, buff or gain muscle mass or anything like that. I am not trying to lift, bro. So, just health things, I suppose. That would be my workout schedule. It's just kind of random and just, you know, when I feel like it. Sometimes, you know, there could be days where I don't really feel like doing anything like that, and then I don't, and then... couple days will pass, and I'm like, all right, I could do some push-ups now, or pull-ups, or whatever. And that's really the long of it right there. Stay healthy, kids. Stay healthy. Advice from somebody, as I've mentioned, who sits in front of their computer from 9 a.m. to about 1 a.m. every single day. Oh, I wish that was an exaggeration, but it's not. It is not. Indeed, Zombie Seaweed, thanks for the question. What else? Sorry, I'm looking... at both a path to go, but also trying to see... Oh, we can make this. Yee! Yeah. Wolfie? Oh, you've already just spawned. Look at that. Now, I thought... I could be wrong, but I thought iron was supposed to spawn at level 62 and below. This is sea level right here, obviously, so that's... obviously spawning a little bit higher than that. I could be wrong, it might be like 72, or it might be just a bit above sea level, but... very peculiar, I must say, and I did. Ooh. Oh god, no, I don't want to actually go down there. Excuse me. Woof. Boop. Ah, here we go. Kind of a more general... Sorry. Speaking of filling the air, there was just a bunch of dead air right there. Talking about video games with their donation. Buzzwell LP asked, I was wondering what kind of games you prefer to play, what genres, and what kind don't you like? Also, do you speak any foreign language? Random questions. No, obviously I don't speak any foreign languages. The story goes, I've said many times, for a requirement, I had to take Spanish classes in college, but I ended up not doing well because I did not take kindly to the immersion technique, where basically from day one, the first class of Spanish class, the teacher speaking Spanish to us. Like, no English whatsoever. Not like, this means this in English. It was just all Spanish all the time. And I'm like, am I in the right class? This feels more advanced, because I don't know if we have homework or anything, because I can't understand the words that are coming out of this person's mouth. So, so that was a major problem for me, and I ended up having to ditch that requirement and get a different degree, I guess. But yeah, no foreign language. But to answer your first question, I think you can pretty well tell from the videos that I make that I do like exploration, creative video games. Obviously, like Minecraft, like Kerbal Space Program. Oops! Oh, I accidentally right-clicked. Wolfie, you cannot ride a boat. I like racing games. Racing games are another major genre that I enjoy. Racing games. I did like, careful, Wolfie, the open world games, such as, I was a big fan of the Grand Theft Auto 3 and the PlayStation 2 and games like that, but lately I've kind of fallen on the wayside with those. Partly because, a lot of them, like Grand Theft Auto 3, were really, I suppose that was more of my love of driving and racing games. But lately they've become less and less focused on that aspect, and more on kind of the sometimes goofy and sometimes more shooty, third-person shootery type games. Like your Saints Row or whatever, the driving mechanics in that game are lacking quite a great deal. On the flip side, I suppose you could kind of say that Driver San Francisco was open world, but you were always stuck in a car. There was no walking around. So yeah, those type of games. I like simulators, flight simulators. Yes, having a hard time finding one that would be good for video. Most simulators are a little bit difficult to do Let's Plays in, because they require a lot of attention, but also a lot of know-how and technique that sometimes doesn't translate well to video, or is a little bit more mundane for the video making process. Yeah, I'd say that really wraps up the genres I enjoy, I think. Trying to think if there's anything I'm avoiding. I mean, I did like first-person shooters. A huge fan of the first Call of Duty. Yeah. And I played through that game multiple times, the single-player campaign, rather, and also the multiplayer while I was in college. But again, that's a genre that has changed significantly. I think one of the reasons I like the multiplayer so much for the first Call of Duty and Call of Duty United Offensive is all the people who made their own maps. It was open and moddable. People made maps. I remember there were a lot of cool, because I didn't, when say me and another friend from college, or say 2 or 3 people just wanted to play, or 4 people. We didn't want to play on these huge maps, that were intended for 20 people or something like that. So there were some people who made very tiny, almost, I remember there was one that was based off of paintball. It was basically just so small, and you run out of the room, and there you're right in front of somebody. So that was always chaotic and fun. But then I think on the flip side, somebody else, one of my more favorite maps is somebody recreated from Lord of the Rings, that whole Minas Tirith, the whole castle area. They really made it a really interesting. It was slightly unbalanced on the German side, I found, because they spawned kind of hidden, whereas the Allies spawned like in the middle of a courtyard, so they were a little bit exposed. But it was, stuff like that was fun. And with the new games, your Black Ops, your Modern Warfares, I don't see, people can't make their own maps, can they? Or am I completely wrong? I've never seen anybody make or play on like a custom map. I was watching for a while B-Dubs and Generic B doing their Race to Commander thing, and it was like always the same maps over and over and over again. And they all were kind of cookie cutter, made by the developer, and didn't seem too unique. And aside from that, I suppose the first Call of Duty's had a very strong single-player campaign, and the single-player campaigns in the current games are almost secondary. It seems they add those in, but they really know that most people will just be playing the online multiplayer. Or they cater now to the console games and things like that, as opposed to, careful, Wolfie. The first Call of Duties were first and foremost made for PC gaming, and then later ported to consoles. So yeah, I do like, and I did like many different genres, but I think I like the genre of just fun video games. I like to stay away from the grindy bits, which is maybe why I'm not too much into the Minecraft, the XP gathering and potion making. That just feels a little bit on the grindy side. But other people might not feel that way, or they find very interesting ways to automate their systems and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that sums that up pretty well. I don't think I'm forgetting. I'm not much of a fighting game person. I was never into having to do all the combos and finishing moves and this or that or the other. Whoa. Again, just not my genre. And again, the whole MMO RPG stuff. Again, maybe it's the grindy aspects of those. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making wild generalizations. So yeah, let's make the final hidey hole of this episode right here. Thank everybody for those donations and questions. Like I said, keeping things interesting. You're gonna one lower. Oh, things interesting here on Far Lands or Bust. Do appreciate it. Boop and a boop. Let's close ourselves in with some dirt. Boop, boop. Oh, that. That'll have to do. I'm just concerned if I break that block that something's going to fall on me. That is not going to be a fun time. I need to protect the bed, for it is my spawn point after I sleep in it. Getting choked up. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Far Lands or Bust. I appreciate you coming along for the ride. Let's make the beds for the next episode. And a boat, I suppose. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, whoops. Dang it. Efficiency. I do not have it. Let's do that. I made a boat. My tools seem to be all right. And yeah, thanks again, and thanks for letting me know, for congratulating me on the 250,000 subscribers. That's awesome. We have more subscribers. No, we don't. I was gonna say we have more subscribers than blocks we walked in the first season of Far Lands or Bust, but no, we don't. That was 292,202. So a little bit to get there. We'll eventually do that, but just forget my ramblings about such things. Let me make some torches while I'm here, I guess. Oh. Yeah. Indeed. All right, we're all set. And thank you for watching this episode. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.